Alright, what's up guys, Rogneish Racoon, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a little bit of a video, and I'm going to be comparing Donkey Kong Country to Super Mario World and see which one is the better platformer. Now, I think that these two are probably the greatest platformers that ever were on the Super Nintendo, and even Yoshi's Island and Donkey Kong Country 2. I think Donkey Kong Country 2 is even better, actually, but these two games are some of the greatest platformers I've ever played in my life. So today we're going to be comparing and seeing which one is better and which one stands out to more people. So without further ado, here we go. Quick disclaimer, this is my opinion. Also, this video is coming out a little bit later than I would. I went to the catacombs at St. Pascal's haunted house, and that was fun. But I hope you guys can enjoy this video anyway, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. There's going to be 5 rounds, so let's start off with number 1. Round 1, characters. First off, let's start where the characters begin. Donkey Kong was originated in 1981 with the arcade game Donkey Kong. It was a huge success to families and kids alike. Everybody loved the game, and it also brought attention to Universal Pictures that they were going to sue Nintendo because they thought they had the rights to King Kong and they thought Nintendo was ripping them off. Well, obviously it was all false, and Universal had to pay for all the damage that they caused Nintendo. So basically, Donkey Kong was a huge success. It also launched 2 sequels to the arcades, and then it was gone for a while, and then Donkey Kong Country was made by Rare in 1994. Now on to Mario. Mario was in fact the player you played as in the Donkey Kong arcade cabinet. His name was Jumpman, while Donkey Kong was just named Donkey Kong. Now let me tell you about the arcade cabinet. That cabinet was awesome because it was based on strategy and a lot of strategy. It's one of the toughest arcade games, but it is also one of the greatest games. When everybody thinks of Donkey Kong, they don't really think of Donkey Kong Country. They normally think of the arcades because it had such a lasting impression on people. You have to save the love of Jumpman, Pauline, from an ape. Yeah, I know, it sounds weird, but it was a great game, and I've played it before. You go see it in my Galloping Ghost video, which will pop on the screen right in the cards. You can go watch that video. And in the sequel to Donkey Kong came Donkey Kong Jr., where you play as Donkey Kong Jr., obviously, and you have to save Donkey Kong from Mario. That was the first game where Mario, and only game where Mario was the bad guy. I know, it sounds crazy, right? And then Donkey Kong 3, you play as an exterminator trying to get rid of an ape. It just got really weird, didn't it? Then came along the game Mario Bros. And then when the NES released after the crash of '83, that's when Super Mario Brothers came and swooped in and just took out any other video game. That was one of the greatest platformers that they had ever seen at that time. And from then on, Mario has been history. This was a tough one, but winner, Mario. Now let's focus on the real games themselves. Round 2 is graphics. Alright, this round wasn't really that hard to pick, even though Super Mario World is a great looking game and the colors really contrast of how uplight and joyful the game is. It doesn't seem to be as good as Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country was a pre-rendered 3D visual platformer, and well, it just stands out a little bit more than Super Mario World because Super Mario World was more of a blocky game, kind of like all the rest of the games, and Donkey Kong Country was more natural. It felt more natural. It felt like fluent. It felt like an actual jungle. It felt like an actual factory. It felt like an actual temple. It felt real, alive, and that's what I think made the graphics a little bit better. Not just a little bit, a lot better than Super Mario World. Round 2, Donkey Kong. Round 3, we're going to be focusing on presentation. Now, this one is also very easy because, well, Donkey Kong Country doesn't even have much presentation. The game starts off right away. Yeah, you have a map and stuff. And if you want to count in when you visit Cranky and Candy and Funky, I mean, does that really count? Does that really count as presentation? I don't know. There's no presentation. There's no cutscenes. There's no nothing. In Super Mario World, there is. After you blow up a castle, there is. There's a little cutscene. You save Yoshi's, and it's very fun and it's a very light game. Presentation goes to Super Mario World. Fourth round, music. This was a legitimately tough thing to choose. Either David Wise's brilliant and naturally amazing Donkey Kong Country soundtrack, or Koji Kondo, the king of video game music's Super Mario World soundtrack. It was not an easy choice. Now let's be honest, most people know the first level in Super Mario World's theme. It's the most classic theme ever. And do most people know Donkey Kong Country's theme? Not that much. But once you do hear it, it gets stuck in your head and it can hardly go away because it's that good. Super Mario World has a lot of catchy beats to it, and so does Donkey Kong Country. But I always found Donkey Kong Country to be a lot more smoother, especially with aquatic ambience, while being one of the greatest songs that was ever composed in any video game, even Final Fantasy. That's great, and Donkey Kong Country almost gives it as good as that game. And there's just so many good songs that come out of Donkey Kong Country. It's kind of hard for me to choose something that isn't that game. Even though Super Mario World has great songs in it, but one game has the better soundtrack, and that game is Donkey Kong Country. Winner, Donkey Kong. Alright, finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, round 5. Gameplay. The gameplay in both games are amazing. Each game has a very different way of showing gameplay. Donkey Kong Country is based more on the jungle, while Super Mario World is based on everything, really. It has a lot of stuff in it. Donkey Kong Country is more jungle themed, and Super Mario World is just kind of world themed, I guess. Is that what you want to call it? I don't know. Let's discuss the sequels of these games. Super Mario World got sequels like Super Mario Bros. Wii and Wii U, obviously, but it also spawned the new series, which I thought was pretty cool on the DS. I have the DS. It's very, very fun. And also Donkey Kong Country also spawned Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Played Tropical Freeze, haven't really played Returns yet, but I probably will one day. And yeah, they're all great games for sequels of these games, and they all play the similar way that they played back a long time ago. But we have to decide out of one. Donkey Kong Country is a great game. The platforming is amazing. It's one of my all-time favorite games on the Super Nintendo. But I think it's a little bit aged, especially compared to the sequels of that game, like 2 and 3. Those games are spectacular. And compared to this one's just kind of like a beginner, like something that they didn't know what to do. And since those two games were so good, then this game must be left in the shadows, right? Well, Super Mario World got a sequel, Yoshi's Island, and they're both great games. But Super Mario World stuck with everybody the most. It's one that the companies are still trying to make today and being as good as they were back then. Yes, even though Donkey Kong has gotten a lot of more Donkey Kong Country games to go ahead of it, there hasn't been really as much as Super Mario World games. I mean, if you want to call them Super Mario World games, because they basically are. It's the company's way of showing that they're trying to still make that game because of how good that game is. Winner, Mario. So there you have it. Mario wins. What did you expect? I mean, I know that Donkey Kong Country had great sequels, and compared to Donkey Kong Country 2, I would probably say that Super Mario World would not have won in that category. But, maybe we should make that one day. Or maybe Yoshi's Island versus Donkey Kong Country 2. Or maybe Sonic the Hedgehog in Super Mario World. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Please play Super Mario World. It's one of the greatest games ever made.